Hello everyone! So, new mythic, legendary, mythic-kin banner, or whatever. And it's Duma, so guess now we know that they are actually talking about God themselves, and, well, technically Air is also a goddess. A goddess of healing, that is. But, yeah. That's kind of strange to see Duma in this game, and it's also even more strange when you realize that the first actual Echoes banner, like Echoes themed banner, that we've got since, oh, I don't know, the Alm Army and Celica Army banner is fucking Duma of all things. You'd expect Python or Forsyth or something like that, but nope, it's just the fucking god himself. Can't wait to see Milla also being added. Truly more interested in Milla than Duma, if I'm being honest. But, alright, so what does he bring to the table, huh? Fell Breath is a pretty good weapon. The problem is it's reliant on your enemy not having full HP, which is easier to say than doing. Now, I know what a lot of people will say, Upheaval is really good to actually start up the weapon, but Upheaval has a lot of problems in itself. Why are they taking a move that literally slaps some of the character's HP in two, like getting rid of like so much health, that does a damage of 8 to 18 might, a 7 damage. Now, the problem I have with the 7 damage clause is, well, you're sacrificing a C slot for just basically doing 7 damage to everyone. Granted, it's really good for his weapon, but that's all it does. Now, I would be fine about it if it was just damage, if it was 12 damage. A bit more toward the average, and 13 doesn't really look good, 14 doesn't really look good, 15 is a bit too much, so 12 would be fine. For one big reason. Do you know the big problem that this skill has in Aether raids? Give up? Alright, here's the problem. Sparkling Boost! Now, Hair has a C skill that actually works every turn, that heals for 10 HP for the character that took the most damage. If everyone took 7 damage, they all are getting healed for 10. This completely negates Upheaval's main effect. And then the second effect only works if he's on defense. It is useless on offense, because apparently that would be too broken. I get that anima are meant to be defense-based, but why are you limiting it to defense? That is stupid. So, here's how I would do Upheaval, okay? I would take a bit more thinking, a bit more doing it, but what I would have done with Upheaval is basically bump the damage to 12. 12 damage means that Sparkling Boost does not heal you enough to actually get out of the plus 6 attack and res, and foe cannot make follow-up clause. So you'd be able to actually, oh well, you know, still be fine there. Preventing follow-up and getting 6 more res is really good on defense. But on top of it, I would not make it just a one-and-done thing like it is right here. In what world are you going to be able to attack on turn 1? Most of the time, even if you're dealing with a offense team, guess what you can do? Healing Tower. And it's healed. Fucking yay. Great. This is epic. But here's what I would do. I would make it like, first turn he charge, second turn he actually activates it, third turn he charges, fourth turn he activates it, fifth turn he charge, sixth turn he activates it, and there you go. Just, and so on, basically. The same way as Upheaval actually works in the game, because it's not an instant skill like it seems to be implied here. But yeah, like, make it work every second turn, like an even damage wave, I guess. And also, because in Echoes, you have like this purple fog, purple smog over him whenever he's about to unleash it. You could just have put like some type of purple fog on the chibi sprite for when he's charging it. That's what I would have done. It's not that difficult. But that way, Upheaval actually has a purpose. It's not completely destroyed by air. And, I mean, even then, air can just wait 2 turns to heal it up. It's just not absolutely broken like it is here. And it can help for stalling to some extent, which is okay. But the fact also that you keep doing damage means that air needs to consistently heal. And if you take any kind of damage, then hair cannot heal everyone anymore, which is cool. It actually means that Upheaval has some kind of purpose and is actually impactful. Another problem Upheaval has in Offense is what will tend to happen if there's a healer that can heal is that your team is going to get hit, or the enemy team is going to get hit, whichever. Actually, no, it only works on defense. Oh wait, no, the damage works at all time. But, okay, so if you're on offense, you actually deal damage, the healer moves to heal, then a dancer moves to dance the healer, and then you lose a unit because they can attack your entire party. A bit bullshit, don't you think? Well, yeah. Typically, Upheaval is gonna work against you in A for Raids. Now, A for Raids is not the only mode, so let's talk about the other things. Upheaval will work fairly well in PvP, and PvE to some extent, to combo into Fell Breath. Alright. It works pretty well there, and comboed with Bolt Fighter and Quick Repose Seal, you're literally just always getting a follow-up, while the enemy can't, as long as he's damaged. However, if you plan on using him and there's any kind of healer, I would say at worst, run him with a staff unit that has like Pain Plus. He's gonna be infinitely more consistent. That said, another skill that's new is Death Res Solo. Now, solo skills can be pretty good, but I consider Death Res Solo to be one of the worst possible combo. You see, if you're going to go for a solo, you typically want attack and speed for Gale Force and, you know, that type of skill. Or just attack in general if you're fast enough so you can, you know, run Heavy Blade. Can't do that here. That's a bit of a bummer, and at the same time, you can't take outside help. Now, you can still combo this with Tactics, but it's a bit more iffy, and you can't combo spurs into it. What makes Death Res Bond one of the best Bond skills out there is the fact that you can combo it with like double spur Death Res, for example, for 11 defense and res. It's absolutely insane. And you can combo Bonds with like, well, if it ever becomes a seal, you could combo it with like Sorcery Blade, you know, that type of skill. Solo, on the other end, you can't really combo this into anything. You can still use, like, say, Marth with drives. It's not ideal, but it works. It's just a bit shaky, but yeah, it can work. But yeah, that's kind of it. He's a pretty solid unit overall, has a super boon in attack, surprising no one. But let's go comparison, shall we? So, I do want to point out, if he's fighting someone that's damaged, he has more attack than anyone here. By 6. He actually hits upward to 73 attack, unbuffed, without an A slot, if he, you know, is just 73 attack, just plus 10, no A slot, no buff. With like an A slot, like say attack, def, solo, which would be honestly ideal. And, oh, I don't know, attack tactic, you're looking at 85 attack at plus 10. It's absolutely monstrous. The problem though is, as I said, the enemy needs to be harmed. Still, at the end of the day, if you look at his stat line and compare it to Grima, you can realize the stat line are quite similar, huh? Now, that to a lot of people they would say, oh, Duma is just better. He has a better stat line. I wouldn't say that. You see, Grima is green, and actually green does help him, because it helps him actually, you know, tank a single hit from, say, oh, I don't know, Legendary Tiki, for example. Yeah, Legendary Tiki, with almost no buffs, actually with just no buffs, kicks down Duma to 4 health, and if she's attack plus, actually kills him. Again, unbuffed without an A slot. Yeah. Grima can easily tank at least one hit, despite having a bit less res. Though, again, if Duma has, you know, any damage on the enemy, this should not be a problem. But it can still be fairly shaky. Another thing is, most red units just don't have a res stat. Yes, they do a bit more damage on the one hit they get through, but Grima still kills them, typically. So, I can't really say one is better than the other. I would say they're kind of tied. They're both fairly good units. It just... Duma doesn't really gain that much with this stat line. I would have imagined him to be more bulky, a bit more like Halloween Myrrh. Yep. Halloween Myrrh's stat line for Duma would have been actually insane. Well, obviously, she's also a trainee, but like, just remove 5 points in speed and there you go. That would have been absolutely insane for Duma. He's fairly decent and also doesn't have as big as a weakness against Falchion users, so that could be seen as a plus against Grima as well. Personally, out of the three, I'd still use Halloween Myrrh over the other two. Red is a really good color, and it's still dangerous to deal with Legendary Tiki, of course, but, you know. Still, fairly decent unit. The first colorless dragon that actually doesn't, well, isn't Grima, I guess. But let's talk about the banner itself, shall we? Yeah, I summoned also. Don't expect to see the video. It's, I don't think I'm even gonna try to record the next parts. For some reason, it feels like it jinxes me because I summoned for 450 orbs. I got 8 5-star. I got 2 Duma, even though I summoned like 10 colorless orbs in total. But on top of this, I only got 1 Tiki out of 450 orbs. Shame, because Tiki is actually my target. We'll see how it goes tomorrow, most likely, but oh well. It is what it is. But let's talk about the banner itself. So, red is Erica, Ike, and Legarn. Now, Legarn is a fairly good unit. Actually, one of the more competent units of this banner. Legarn is a really solid unit, and her only issue is just the fact that, you know, she has no res. But it's still fine. She can use buffs against the enemy side. It's a pretty solid stat line. Basically, a red, speedy Beruka, to put it simply. That's basically what she is. Ike is... I mean, he's a good free unit, but like, would I go for a plus 10 of him? Nah. He's definitely showing his age at this point. Erica is good, but the problem is she scores less than Ryoma, and Ryoma also has a unique B skill just like her, and that means she has no edge for against Ryoma. Ryoma is just gonna always be better, especially considering their stat line are so similar. So I would say red is kind of a bad color to pull from. Probably the worst the worst color of the banner. I mean, there's also red dual flyer for from Legion. Also, that could probably be nice to some people. And yeah, that's kind of all it is. I mean, attack speed solo is also pretty good from Erica, but that's kind of the only one that is kind of good. Other than this, not really much to say. Blue is probably the best color of this banner. I really wanted to have Quan instead of Cliff, but I'll take Cliff. I was really expecting Ryoma at this point, so I kind of gave up on that slot. Cliff and Quan plus Tiki would have been so good. Oh! But instead we got, well, just Cliff. Cliff is not a bad unit. And 4 Def Res is a fantastic skill. One of the best skill and most sought after skill out there. 300 SP cost, and well, just a really, really good skill for support unit or very, very tanky unit. Legendary Tiki herself is fantastic and good fodder if you're going to do that for with her. She has Bold Fighter, Fierce Breath, sorry. And with everyone, all of which are fantastic skill, and 2 of them are very good fodder. Still, I would not fodder her. She's one of... Actually, no, she is the best scoring legendary unit, and she's a fantastic unit overall. Ryoma is obviously the black goat of the bunch, but I mean, it can kind of work, I guess. Still, he still has Chill Death and a Armor Killer dagger, so if you're into that, that's kind of welcomed. Then here comes green. Green is... I'm gonna be real with you, green is kind of shit. But still better than red just because Brave Ephraim is on there. Brave Ephraim is insane. Special Fighter is actually really good, and he's the only source of it. Yeah, he also has Close Death and Armor March. Both are also fairly sought after skills. And as a unit himself, he's actually not bad. But then here comes the bad part. Elincia has basically nothing. She has attack speed push. Isn't that epic? No, it's not. It's actually pretty atrocious. It works on healers, kinda, but that's kind of the only thing, and you kind of need Live to Serve to make it work. Martyr will not heal the last HP you're missing, typically, as far as I know. So that's kind of Dragon Killer Dagger. When you have the actually better Dragon Killer Dagger on a banner right now with better rates. Yeah, why? And Lyn has Speed Tactic, and that's kind of her only selling point. She is the absolute worst legendary hero of the entire fucking banner. No questions asked. Or hell, of all the legendary unit in general. I even consider Air to be a better unit than Lyn. Fucking Christ. Well, that just sounds like FE7, huh? And then Colorless, the second best pool out there, because boy oh boy, outside of Lyn, which really doesn't have much to offer, Lyn has Starfish. Yay! Desperation on a weapon so you can combo it with Bold Fighter. Except that's kinda garbage, and Slaying will do you just as good, if not better. So, oh well. But then the other two comes in. Duma is good fodder. He has Bolt Fighter, so that's already pretty good. Therefore, solo, while not great, is still a decent option. That's kind of it. He's a pretty good unit, as I've already mentioned, but here comes another really good fodder. I do hope I get her, just because if I pull on a colorless when there's no blue, or something like that. That'd be cool, because I do need colorless dual infantry on my Lachesis, but you know, that's already really good fodder. But she already also, on top of this, has the best stat line out of any healer. Well, infantry healers. At least when it comes down to offense, there's really no one that compares to her. Hell, I'd say she has a better stat line than even Veronica. Although, well, I do say this, Veronica has a much better weapon, but, you know, that's kind of all there is to it. She also has... no, she doesn't. Wait, no, she does. Windfire Balm, which is one of the best balm out there. If you want the balm on your healer, I guess. But... oh wait, no, it's not... No. Windfire is Veronica. She has... Earth Water, I think? Earth Blood? Or Earth Water? The one that gives Zephrys +6. My bad. Which is still good fodder. But yeah, overall, I would say if you're going for... if what you're going for is Legendary Tiki, this is a fantastic banner. If what you're going for is Duma, that's still a pretty solid banner. But red and green are fairly garbage. Unless you really like 2 out of 3 characters on there, I would not summon for those colors. I would actually actively avoid them. But yeah, not much else to say here. I hope you guys have a nice one. I'm gonna see you all later.